Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is the 2022 United States Grand Prix. If you are new to the channel, if you are a Formula 1 fan, then please do get yourself subscribed because I'm live not just for this race but for every single qualifying and every single race from the Formula 1 World Championship. This is round 19 out of 22 and we're finally at race day. It's Carlos Sainz from pole position. Also, please do drop me a like on the stream. It helps the YouTube algorithm pick me up and put me in the right category, and maybe we get some more people joining the channel today. Are we going? Ryan Tunes in, Tax in, I'm not like Demon, you're in as well. Welcome to the stream, guys. Let me turn the music down because I've got that on full blast, just because, why not? Right, so we have got half an hour till lights out, or just less than. We're at about 25 minutes or so. So let's have a look at the results from all the teams going into this race. Let's have a little bit of a season so far kind of a thing, which I usually do. I usually do on a Friday, but what's the point in a preview on a Friday afternoon when you can do it 20 minutes before the race starts? That is the time to do the little preview. So let's go through it team by team. Here we go. So we've just got 20 minutes before lights out. Bang, we're going to go through all the teams. So we're going to go from back of the grid to front of the grid. If you can still hear me, yeah, Leclerc penalty. Cheers, Simon. Cheers for the retweet on that one. Yeah, there should have been a tweet that went out. So yeah, cheers for that, Simon. Ryan, I'm doing good, Ryan. I'm absolutely pumped for this one. Usually races after the championship are won are actually really good because it's gloves off. It's balls to the wall. Let's go. The pressure's off. Let's see Lewis dive into turn one with no pressure. Verstappen's already won it. Let's see some action in Texas today. So yeah, I'm absolutely pumped for this one. Right, so we'll just go through the team. So these are the results. If you've not seen my little preview section before, I'll go through the teams. These are the results of the drivers. So you got Albon's results of the season on this side, and Latifi's on that side. This is Williams. They're 10th in constructors, only 8 points for the entire season. But even now, Latifi's on the scoreboard. He's got 2 points. And they were scored in Japan a couple of weeks ago in a mixed conditions, kind of a shambolic race. But yeah, Nicholas Latifi means that every single driver is off the mark in terms of points. So everyone scored points this season, at least. So, you know what I mean? Right, so that's Williams. Going into this race, Alexander Albon, I think, starts P8 on the grid today. With other drivers taking penalties, I think Ocon's going to start from the pit lane. You've got Alonso with a grid penalty, Leclerc with a grid penalty, Perez with a grid penalty, Zhou Guanyu with a grid penalty. And that's the ones I know about. There might be one or two more that I don't even know about. So the total of all that is Alexander Albon starts P8, I think. Am I wrong? As far as I know, Alexander Albon, P8. He's got a good chance to pick up some more points for Williams today, as he did in, where did he score points? Miami. Is that it? Was it just... No, it can't just be Miami. Oh, yeah, Miami, Belgium as well. Yeah, Miami and Belgium. So, yeah, Alexander Albon, outside chance of scraping a point today, maybe. 9th in constructors is AlphaTauri, stuck on 34 points, the same amount of points as Haas. So Haas and AlphaTauri neck and neck with 4 races to go, both on 34 points. They've not had a good season, AlphaTauri 9th in constructors. They're probably one of the biggest disappointments of the season, considering last season was a good season for AlphaTauri. They come out of the blocks quick. This season it's not been good. I mean, look at the results. It speaks for itself. I don't need to read out 36 results, but you can see for yourself. AlphaTauri not looking good, but they got a new driver lineup next year. It's going to be Tsunoda and Nick De Vries. Can that breathe new life into it? Yeah, AlphaTauri, they probably will finish 9th in constructors, which is a disappointment. Australia as well for Albon, 1 point. Yeah. Oh, Australia, that's right. 10th in Australia, 9th in Miami, 10th in was it Belgium? One of the... Yeah, that's it. That's Albon's races that he scored points. Yeah, so they're down to 9th. They could seriously do with some points. I can't remember where they're starting on the grid. But I don't think neither of them are the top 10, are they, Gasly and Tsunoda, today. Haas as well, fallen off massively since the start of the season. They're 8th now in Constructors' Championship, like we're saying, tied with AlphaTauri on 34 points. They haven't scored a point since Austria. Look at that. France, Hungary, Belgium, Netherlands, Italy, Singapore, Japan, all pointless for Haas. So they're desperately, and Mick especially, who hasn't got a contract for 2023 yet, needs some points. Please, this is my team. This is my team. Come on, guys. We need Mick to, well, if you're a Mick Schumacher fan like me, we need Mick to get some points. His career hangs, well, his Formula One career hangs in the balance, Mick Schumacher. So he's under pressure. He's had a few too many crashes this season. It's not been great, you know, especially the one in Japan after the session had finished, sticking it in the wall and costing, you know, millions of quid's worth of damage when the session's over. Was an embarrassing one. Yeah, Mick is fighting for his career. I hope he can get some points today in the race, but he's way back. I think Mick's, something like 16th, 17th on the grid. I think Kevin is 13th on the grid, something like that, 13th, 14th. Yeah, I think they line up about 13th and 16th today, do Haas. So, you know, Mick more like Michael. I wish he was, you know. I always held and still hold hope for that. You know, that he can show signs of what his dad could do back in the day. But yeah, they're in P8, P7, and on the charge is Aston Martin. 45 points for them they've scored. And, you know, look at the last two races for Aston Martin. Look at Singapore, round 17 there, Vettel, P8. Stroll, P6. That's a big handful of points when you're at the back end of the midfield. That is a big haul of points. And then again, Vettel with the P6 in Japan. So an incredible last couple of races for Aston Martin in terms of points. You know, and even before that, they've been picking up like little P10 here and there, P9, P10 when everything goes well. But now they're really coming on strong. We have got Lance Stroll starting P5 on the grid today. That is one of the probably the standout performance of qualifying yesterday. Lance Stroll will start from 5th. He's got to get some points from there. I'm not too sure where Vettel starts. Probably just outside the top 10, something like 12th, something like that. I'll have a look at that in shortly. I think Vettel just outside the top 10. Well, Stroll, P5. He's got to get points today because they're chasing Alfa Romeo. The gap now, what we're Aston on, 45. So there's 7 points between Aston and Alfa Romeo. I fancy it, Aston, with 4 races to go, 7 points. I think Aston are going to finish P6 in Constructors. Although Bottas does start this race from high up. I think Bottas starts this race from 7th or 8th. I've got the grid rundown on a different screen in a minute, but Bottas I think starts this race 7th or 8th. So big opportunity for Alfa Romeo to score points today as well. They've not scored. I mean, apart from Zhou Guanyu's 1 point in Italy, it's been a pretty grim second half of the season for Alfa Romeo. I mean, look at that. Since Canada? I mean, they had a great race in Canada. Look at that. 7th and 8th they were in Canada, Alfa Romeo. And look at the results since then. Bottas with DNFs all over the place. Not a single point since Canada. And Zhou Guanyu, 1 point since Canada. You know, Canada's, 10 races ago. So, they've fallen off massively. They started the season off very well, but they've been swamped. They've been overtaken, and they'll probably be beaten to 6th in Constructors by Aston Martin, who are closing in quick. 5th is McLaren. Lando Norris has had a great season with the equipment. He's had 101 points with 4 races to go. Sits 7th in the championship, and it's been a great season. I mean, look at those results from Lando Norris. He's been consistent throughout the whole season. You know, he virtually finishes in the points every single time. I mean, you know, he's finished every single race in the points, bar Belgium, since the beginning of summer. So Lando Norris had a great season. We know about Daniel Ricciardo. He's really struggled this season. It's not been nice to see. On many streams, I've sort of had a bit of a laugh about it and be like, oh, Daniel Ricciardo again, he's last again, and I've sort of, but on a real note, it's not nice to see somebody's career fall apart. And which it has done. His Formula One career over the last 18 months, 2 years, put that Monza win aside, and it's been a horrible couple of years for Daniel Ricciardo, and he finds himself without a seat for 2023, and it's a shame. I don't think he'll find his way back into Formula One. I mean, it'd be great if he did, but I think once you're on the sidelines, unless you're with massive. You come with massive sort of prestige, like Raikkonen was able to go and return, or Alonso was able to leave and return, but not many really are able to sort of take a sabbatical at however old he is. I think he's about 33-ish. It'd be difficult for him to take a sabbatical being a Mercedes test driver, reserve driver, something like that, and come back into the fray. I'd find that unlikely. You never know, stranger things have happened in Formula One. But yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame what's happened to Daniel Ricciardo, and I just hope he can finish these last 4 races on a high. He has done well. He has done better in the second half of this season. Look at that 5th place in Singapore. In fact, McLaren had a fantastic Singapore Grand Prix, 4th and 5th. Massive haul of points, and at that point they overtook Alpine for P4. They've now been repassed for P4 by Alpine. What are you saying in the chat? Paul Martin, number 1, wants to talk to him. Oh, is he on the grid? I've got it on pause because the light from the telly keeps flickering, and then everything gets messed up with the green screen. So I've got it on pause until about 5 minutes to go, and then I'll hit play, and then we'll be lights out. So the race starts in about 15 minutes, guys. So bear with me until then. So yeah, that's McLaren's season so far with 4 to go. They are being beaten by Alpine. P4 in constructors, 143 points. So what's the gap? I think it's 13 points, the gap between McLaren and Alpine. I expect that to grow, to be honest with you. But it is not a great scenario today for Alpine, because as far as I understand, Ocon's going to start from the pit lane, and Fernando Alonso is outside the top 10 with a grid penalty. I think he starts like 13th, 14th, does Fernando Alonso. So they've got an uphill battle today, Alpine. They come off the back of a fantastic Japanese Grand Prix. Look at those results. 4th in Japan for Esteban Ocon, holding off Hamilton for all that race, the delayed and cut short race that it was in Japan a couple of weeks ago. That was nearly a 4-hour stream. So yeah, that was a long one. That was delayed by nearly 2 hours. So hopefully we don't get that today. I don't think we're going to. It looks like a nice. There's not going to be weather interruptions today like there was in Japan. That was a mad one. 4-hour race. So get in. So yeah, they're on the back foot going into this, but I think they'll come through. I think Alonso will come through. I think you'll see Ocon slicing through the field as well. Looks fresh and swish. Great setup. Cheers, Anto. Cheers, Kim. How are we doing? I mean, I've always had this preview thing with the graphics and everything. It's just that I've done it on a Friday instead of doing it before the race. That's what I've changed. I've had this since March, all this, but nobody's seen it. That's the difference. So yeah, so that's Alpine. Mercedes are 3rd in constructors and will probably finish 3rd in constructors. By the way, the stars next to the drivers is the championships. So if you noticed when we were going through, Alonso had a couple, Vettel's with the 4 championships, Hamilton with the 7 stars representing his 7 world championships. So yeah, crazy that George Russell is going to beat Lewis Hamilton in the standings. I think it's pretty much nailed on, unless George has some sort of mechanical failure in the last 2 or 3 races, and Lewis starts banging in like a podium and Russell DNFs. So bar an unusual scenario, Russell's going to beat Hamilton in the standings. What a season George Russell has had. I mean, look at those results. The last 2 races aside, George Russell's been in the top 5 every single race. He had that contact to the British Grand Prix right at the beginning, which put him out of that. But, you know, British Grand Prix aside, he's had a phenomenal season as George Russell, and sits 4th in Constructors, 4th in the Drivers' Championship, ahead of Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. Sainz might go ahead of him today, of course. We're starting on pole position is Carlos Sainz, so you'd expect him to bag some big chunk of points from there. But George has had a brilliant season, and Mercedes have done the best they can with the car that that's been built. The drivers have done the best with it. They've mopped up the points when Ferrari have floundered. So they've done the best that they can, which is P3 this year. But I think I'm predicting that Mercedes will come back strong next year, and I hope they do, and I hope we get a proper championship battle next season. But yeah, that's Mercedes. Ferrari P2 could have been so much more for Ferrari. I think they've only won 4 races this season. I think Leclerc's won 3, Bahrain, Australia, Austria, and Sainz has won the British Grand Prix. Now we can add to that today, and they can make it 4. They can make it 5 wins for Ferrari if Sainz was to win today. But yeah, it's been a bit of a shocker in terms of strategies, reliability, driver error. And it's kind of capitulated for Ferrari this season, organisationally. They should have got this. It's a shoulda, woulda, coulda season for Ferrari, especially after those first sort of half dozen races. I was thinking, this is on. You know, this is Charles Leclerc's championship. You know, after 3 or 4 races, it was seriously like, this is Leclerc's year. This is Ferrari's year. And then it's just been a mess from one reason to another. Yes, Flabby. This, as I was saying, I usually have. Answer your woman thinks she was shit. I usually do this preview little section on a Friday before Friday practice 1, but I've moved it to the Sunday before lights out for the race, so it's better, isn't it? Because people actually see it. So yeah, I should have done this months ago. I should have done the preview before the race months ago. But yeah, I always did it on that. Well, initially I actually did this on a Thursday. It had its own live stream, like a Thursday preview. But that was getting like 10 views, so I was like, yeah, do you know what? Probably don't put it on a Thursday. Then it moved to a Friday. Now we're on a preview. Now we're on a preview Sunday, just before the race. So the lights out is the race starts in 10 minutes. So we'll start wrapping this up with Red Bull. Verstappen, with his name in gold, he's already world champion this season. He's already double world champion. Despite this budget cap potential breach, I don't think they'll take any championships off him. I think that'd be extreme. I think it'd be too harsh. I think it would be, you know, it'll be too much. It'd be too much. I mean, you know, punish them in a way that the perfect punishment for Red Bull, right? If they have overspent, is by the amount that they've overspent, take that off the budget for the following year. So let's say you're allowed to spend 145 million. If they spent 150. Next year, you're only allowed to spend 140. You get what I mean? So the punishment carries over. So that's the way to do it, in my opinion. That's the punishment they should get. Whatever they've overspent by is what should be taken off them for the 2023 budget. Taking championships off them and points off them, he's starting getting into an area where it's massively controversial to start rewriting the history books. It's massive, absolutely massive, and unless it's like a clear and obvious breach where they spent millions too much developing parts for the car and like a clear and obvious like cheat, which I don't think it is, unless it's like that, then just sort of take the money off them for next year. So yeah, that's Red Bull. They've dominated the season. Look at Verstappen's season, man. Look at the points. Look at the wins. You know. I think he's won, 13 out of 18 races, something like that. I think it's... Yeah, what would it be? Would it 12 out of 18? Perez has won 2. Leclerc's won 3. And Sainz has won 1. So that's 6. From 18. So he's won the other 12. Primary school maths. But yeah, no, so Verstappen's won 12 out of 18 races. Madness. And it's walked away with the championship with 4 races to go. So, yeah, I hope it's a lot closer next year, put it that way. Cheers, Anto. Sang better on the toilet 20 minutes ago. Get in. I won't be doing any singing on the stream. Hey, if you want singing, Kim's your one for that. Kim's your singer. Oh, she can do 12-hour karaoke shows, can our Kim? Think it should be double. What, double what? Predictions for the race? Lewis for the win. Yeah, Lewis for the win. Right, we're 8 minutes out. I'm going to start wrapping this part up. Mercedes making late fits to Lewis Hamilton's car on the grid. Right, let me check this out. Let me check this out. Is the drama with Lewis? Right, hang on. Let me plug in the thing. We might have to go to the live action because I've just got a notification that they're messing about with Lewis Hamilton's car 6 minutes before the race is due to start. And I've got my wires in a tangle. Right, let me plug this in. I swear I was prepared. Right, that's in. Okay. 12-hour minimum. How many cupcakes? Oh, she's making more cupcakes. What's going on? Right. Oh, look at the light on my face now. Right. Let's see what's happening with Lewis Hamilton's car. They're on an ad break. What are they doing on an ad break? Oh, this is playing all kinds of havoc with my green screen, like I knew it would. Right. Anyway, that's the rundown. So I'm going Hamilton win. Yeah, whoever asked for the predictions, but yeah, these are the championship standings then, going into the US Grand Prix. Whoa, with the blue, sitting here with a blue face. Why do this to me? Right, that'll do, just for a minute. Right, yeah. So this is the championship. So the battles are Haas versus AlphaTauri. For P8, and then Aston Martin catching Alfa Romeo for P6, only 7 points in that, and then you've got the Alpine McLaren battle for P4, 13 points between them in that. I think top 3 in constructors is pretty much dead set. But yeah, some great battles to look at. I mean, another subplot on the Drivers' Championship front is that Perez and Leclerc are only separated by 1 point. I mean, is that critical? Not really. Russell 5 points ahead of Sainz with 4 races to go. Hamilton sat there on 180 points. Lando in a world of his own on 101 points there, 7th in the championship. Can Ocon catch Norris in terms of the championship by the end of the season? Probably not. So Alpine are looking to finish 8th and 9th in the championship. I can't believe Bottas is still in the top 10 in the championship, despite not having scored a point since Canada. Bottas is still P10 in the championship. All good run. Yeah, Ronald for me, my lad. What's up with Lewis? I don't know. I need to see. They're on an ad break. Have they come back off ad break yet? Come on, guys. I don't do ad breaks. They're on some weird intro thing. They're on an intro video, so I don't even know what's going on with Lewis. But yeah, we're going to go full commentary mode in a minute. Right, we're going to change up the thing. We're going to get stood up. We're going to go in the middle. We're going to go full commentary. You can see Martino get another red card. He's on about football. Wrong stream, Kim. This is racing cars, Kim. Right. And my face is glowing red because I'm on a green screen wacky one. Right, here we go. We're live. So that's the Drivers' Championship with 4 rounds to go. Boom. Let's go to this screen. Let's get the live timings up. I'll refresh it for the hell of it because it probably will need to be refreshed anyway. So I may as well refresh it now. We've got the cheerleaders on the grid, so get in. Right, we're gonna change the driller now. We're gonna change it up now. Here we go. We're going full Sky commentary mode now. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Right, we're changing the game now. Chair, forget it. Camera up here. Now, what are we saying about that? I know I look pale. I look so pale. Palest guy on the planet. Right, is that fine? Let me tilt that. Okay, we're in commentary mode now. Right, let me get me. I'm absolutely hyped for this one. I want to see Lewis lead into turn 1B. Let's go. Right, we're on. Our green screen looks fine. We're all right. I've got away with this one. I've got away with it. How are we doing? See how seamlessly I switched from preview to race show? You know what I mean? Oh, it took me 5 minutes to flipping change everything. Right, we're done. We're ready. Let's go. Mr. Wilson, the governor. You're always changing your name, you, Neil. I don't know who you are. Right, starting grid. Here we go. Do you know what? Shall I put this light on? Is that better? Is that better? No, it ain't. Nah, forget the light. 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 That'll have to do. Or else we're going to have a green background all race. Oh, right. Here's the starting grid then. So it's Ocon at the back. Well, from the pit lane. There's Tsunoda, Zhou, Latifi, Schumacher, Ricciardo. Alonso, Magnussen, Leclerc, Gasly. See, I'm behind. Then Vettel, Perez, Albon, P8. Valtteri Bottas P7, crucial for them to get points. Lando Norris will start this race in the top 6, but it's Lance Stroll. The big news from qualifying yesterday. Lance Stroll will start this race from the top 5. Go on, Lance. I hope he gets some decent points. Then we've got an all Mercedes second row. Russell 4th, Hamilton will start 3rd, and it's Verstappen P2. Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari will start the US Grand Prix from pole position. And we're about to get underway for the formation lap. That's better, yeah. That's better in it. We don't need any green flickering backgrounds, do we? Even though, I mean, if I put the light on, I look less pale. Like, I actually look like I've got colour in my face. But the problem is, the background goes wham, flickering also. I think it's to do with like the shadows that it creates. I don't even know. But I've always had trouble with green screen, me. Every single time that I've done it, it's always been a nightmare for me. And Denver makes it look so easy, and Jamsa and everything. They got it rigged up perfect. I always have problems. But I guess that's what happens when you're new on the... There's always stuff to learn. Right. Here we go. So Neil's going Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris. What? So Russell to win the race. That would be his first ever victory. Russell has had pole position in Hungary, but Russell has never won a race. So that would be a hell of an afternoon. I'd back that. I'd love to see a George Russell victory. Even more than that, I'd love to see a Lewis Hamilton victory. And even more than that, I'd probably love to see a Mick Schumacher victory, but I've got more chance of me winning the race than Mick. But yeah, we're underway for the formation lap then. Oh, here we go. I'm going to turn this up in my ears. Full. Wow, I look wide. I swear, like, guys, in real life, I am not this pale. I am not. I'm going to have to start coming on screen with foundation on. I look as pale as a ghost. It's done me dirty. But if I put the light on, flipping, it's even worse. Right, anyway, we're getting there. We're getting there. I can tilt that up a little bit more. There we go. How's that? There we go. We're ready. Are we ready? Dab of luck. I'm not doing a dab. That's like 2018 settings. We're in Texas, my only guess. Feeling a little bit better. Oh, Neil's been under the weather. All right, yeah, I am full ghost mode today, Sean. Call of Duty Ghosts for me, lad. So use makeup every day, Claire. Don't talk to me about Claire. I'd be on stream as Claire if that filter was still available, Neil. That's a scary thing, isn't it? get a spray tan. And yes, I do. It's a good shout. Motorsport Ghostman. Yeah. The thing is, Sean, I've got a ring light here, right? That works a treat. You know what I mean? But then the background messes up, so it's a lose-lose. Anyway, let's get ready for the race. Neil's all about Claire. Damn it, lad. Right, who are we going for the win, guys? This is the last chance to get your predictions in because they're about to line up on the grid. They're showing the Drivers' Championship on the screen, which is sort of irrelevant. Verstappen's walked it this year, winning 12 out of the 18 races. But this is round 19. You never know. Can Sainz hold him off? I'd love to see a Lewis win. But more than likely, Max will take the lead within the first half dozen laps and absolutely dominate it. I hope that's not the case. I hope Sainz can put up a fight. I hope Lewis goes for a massive lunge into turn one after getting a perfect start. I hope we see Alexander Albon get some points. He's going to start him from P8. So yeah, I hope Alex can get a couple of points. I hope Mick can come through and do something to hold on to his Formula 1 career. And I hope we get a cracking race. Please do drop me a like, guys. We're about to get underway for the United States Grand Prix, and I appreciate everyone in chat and everyone who has subscribed already. If you haven't and you're into Formula 1, get yourself subscribed, because I'm live every single quality and every single race as Esteban Ocon lines up at the end of the pit lane with his Spider-Man special edition crash helmet. So it's Ocon from the pit lane. I don't know why. I don't know if they've taken new engine components, whatever it is. Ocon from the pit lane. But it's Verstappen already angling his car at Sainz. Here we go. Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go then for United States Grand Prix, and Verstappen's already ahead of Sainz even before they get to turn one. The two Mercedes are looking for the... But Verstappen's right down the inside. Sainz is going to try round the outside. Verstappen already in the... Oh, Verstappen! Sainz has spun! Sainz has spun! I think one of the Mercedes hit Sainz. And I think Hamilton had contact with Sainz. Sainz is round. No way, man. No way has Carlos Sainz spun on the exit of turn one. I need to see a replay to see if there was any contact, whether he spun off his own accord by just getting the power down too soon, or whether he's been tagged by one of the Mercedes. I've got a feeling Lewis Hamilton slight touch as Sergio Perez barges Valtteri Bottas out of the way, and Alexander Albon looks like he's making... Right, okay, Lance Stroll's P4 and Sebastian Vettel's 6th. What the hell have they done at the start? Incredible. I think Sainz spinning has backed a lot of people up, and the Aston Martins have made the most of it. I think both Astons are in the top 5. Both Astons are in the top 5, and they're going 3 wide into the turn 12 with Alexander Albon next to Yuki Tsunoda. And it's Pierre Gasly as well. There's a McLaren in the mix. They're going 3 wide into turn 13. The hell has he done that? What a start from Aston Martin. I don't know. You can watch it free here. Just about. Cheers, JJ. Oh, I give Sky Sports a run for the money. Right, here's a replay of the start on board with George Russell. So George Russell's got the inside line. Okay, it's a good start. Verstappen with a bit of a swipe, right? Okay. Oh, it's Russell that smacks into the... It's Russell that hits the side of Carlos Sainz. I think it's Russell's fault, that. I think Russell has put his nose... Yeah, I don't know. I think Russell was over-ambitious there. I was blaming him. I thought Hamilton's hit... and Sainz is out. Sainz retires from the US Grand Prix. Oh, my God. Carlos Sainz, full heartbreak scenario. I can't believe that. Hey, I tell you what, Aston Martin here have absolutely hit goal. Lance Stroll's in a podium position. Where did Vettel start the race from? I feel like Vettel's made up about 7 places. I need to see the start on board with Sebastian Vettel. It's crazy. Norris is P6 under massive pressure from Sergio Perez. Perez down the inside then into turn 12 and gets a position. We've also got Leclerc passing Albon for P9. So Perez up to 6th then from about... Where did Perez start? About 13th. Perez up to P6. So it's Verstappen, Hamilton, Stroll, top 3. Then we've got Russell, Vettel, Perez, Norris, Gasly, Leclerc, Albon rounds out the top 10. Then it's Bottas, Alonso, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Latifi, Zhou, Schumacher, Magnussen at the back with Ocon, and Sainz has retired from the race. His laptop's spazzing out. Russell, I know, Russell is Russell's P4. I mean, I do have a guess, Neil, that you've had a full guess on that one. But yeah, you told me about Russell. I don't think he's going to win, but he can get a podium. I can't believe it with Sainz. Yeah, that's mad what George Russell's done there. I think he's just over ambitious into turn 1. Obviously, Carlos Sainz is gonna turn into the apex. George Russell's just stuck his nose in and bang, spun him round and obviously caused damage that they can't repair on the fly. Sainz is out of the race. Oh, it's a heartbreaker, man. It's a heartbreaker because, I mean, Sainz has had such a topsy-turvy season. Whether it's driver error, reliability, now he's been hit. It's like, can Carlos Sainz catch a break? As we see Perez already closing on the back of Sebastian Vettel and also Leclerc, catching Gasly and Norris. We've got a 3-way fight for P7 now. So, yeah, the Ferrari and the Red Bull coming through the pack as one of the Williams runs wide there. And it's Bottas v Albon for P10. Whoa. Bottas trying it round the outside of turn 14. Gets a switchback. Alexander Albon, with a mistake on the exit of turn 12, has given Bottas a sniff at that P10. Stroll's still P3, man. Aston Martin can pick up some serious points today. They're going to absolutely smash. Oh, Perez having a look down the inside on Sebastian Vettel into turn 1, but not close enough. And Vettel survives for now, but he's being hunted down. And this 3-way battle for P7 is hotting up as well between Norris, Gasly and Leclerc. 10-second penalty will get maybe 5. No, I think because it's at the start of the race, you don't often see penalties at the start of the race unless it's something wild. Oh, wow, Albon locked up bad. I don't know, seeing it on that thing, it's a strange incident. Let's have another look at the replay at the start then. Verstappen and Sainz nearly crash. Okay. I don't know about this Russell Sainz collision. It's hard to sort of... I feel like Sainz is switching. He's trying to switch over to the inside of the circuit, but Russell's already there. If Sainz had just carried on, he'd come out of the exit and just stayed wide and just carried on over the exit curb, I feel like it would have been fine. I feel like Sainz has, as soon as he's gone round turn 1, he wants to go to the left instead of going straight on, and that's what's caused the collision. Replay on board with that. Yeah, do you know what? The more times I see the replay, the more I think it might be Carlos Sainz who's done himself an absolute horrible... The more I see it, the less it looks like Russell's fault, actually. The more I see it, the more I think Sainz could have avoided that. How are we doing, Max? Are you winning? Yeah, you're winning, man. You're always winning. You're always winning, Max. Although it took Carlos Sainz being swiped out for you. But the thing is, Max, you were in the lead before you even got to turn 1. You know what I mean? You started second on the grid, Max, and you were in the lead before you even got to turn 1. You're mad. And you managing to be on a YouTube live commenting as well. whilst you're driving, you're taking a mick. It's first lap, nothing should happen. Yeah, you've won. You've already won the championship. I'm good, Max. How are you? Russell down the inside of Lance Stroll for P3 then. Russell takes that podium position off Lance Stroll. You know, it was always a case of how long could Lance hold on to it. But still, this is looking like a very good afternoon for Aston Martin if they keep it all together. I think Sergio Perez has got a little bit of damage on the end fence of his front wing, flapping around there. But Perez up to 5th then. So Perez has passed Vettel. I think we missed that on screen whilst we were watching replays. And Perez all over the back of Lance Stroll. So before we know where we are, we're going to have Perez in the top 4. So it's Verstappen from 2.7 second lead from Lewis Hamilton. Then is George Russell P3, who's just taken that off Lance Stroll. And it is now a 3-way fight for P3 between Russell, Stroll and Perez is on the move. And now we're going to see a replay of Perez overtaking Sebastian Vettel into turn 12. Nice, simple, easy move. Max has gone great start, yeah, man. As soon, you know, it was lights out and away we go, and Max led immediately. Yeah. Well, please do drop me a like, guys, if you're new to the stream. You know, it really helps me out, helps the channel get noticed for the next races, and helps YouTube put me on the list with the other F1 watch-along channels. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Sergio Perez has definitely got damage to his front wing, but it's not... Oh, and that's broken off. Oh, so Perez has lost that front wing end plate, but doesn't stop him overtaking Lance Stroll. Perez up to P4 then. So the Aston Martins are now 5th and 6th. Wow, Perez has got no front wing end fence and still making up positions. So it's now Verstappen, Hamilton, Russell, Perez, top 4. Red Bull, Mercedes, Mercedes, Red Bull. Then we've got the two Aston Martins, 5th and 6th. Leclerc 7th, Norris 8th, Gasly 9th, Bottas 10th at the minute. So Albon's fading away, unfortunately. We've got Alonso on the hard tyres in P11. So he's like an odd one out. Also, you've got guys down the back. So both Alpines and both Haas drivers are on the hard tyre. Everybody else is on the mediums. So there's only 4 drivers on an alternate strategy. The highest of which is Fernando Alonso in P11. So watch out for him as the race starts to unfold. He might be trying to do a one-stop strategy, whereas the guys on the medium, I assume, are going to be on 2 stops. But I don't really know what the tyre deg is around here. With FP2 being testing 2023 tyres, I don't know what the long runs were saying in FP1 or P3. So I'm not sure on the strategies. But I'd say Alonso... Ocon, Schumacher and Magnussen are going to go 1 stop. That's what I would say. New wing. No, I think he's just going to carry on, Anto. I don't think he's going to pit for a new wing. I think he's just going to... I don't think he's losing a hell of a lot of time. I tell you what, Verstappen and Hamilton are... Hamilton's keeping it at 2.7 seconds. Verstappen's not absolutely running away with this yet. If Verstappen by 2.8 now from Lewis Hamilton, it's Russell. Hopefully the live timings are updating and all that. It should be. Gasly versus Norris for P8, and Gasly takes P8. But the fight's going to rage on here into the final sector. Norris v Gasly for P8. Is Norris going to try around the outside of turn 14? You've got Valtteri Bottas right behind him as well in P10. Having a good look at this battle as they come round turn 16, 17, flat out over the apex. Then line it up for the down a couple of gears, throw it into turn 19. Don't go too wide on the exit and go off the circuit. Now breaking into the newly named final corner and onto the back straight. Then it's Lando Norris and Valtteri Bottas with the DRS chasing down Pierre Gasly for P8. Oh, this is a great fight. Replay on board with Sergio Perez, and this is how he damaged his front wing, presumably on lap 1, and he tried it down the inside of Bottas, shoves him out of the way, and that's what got Perez to damage his front wing. That was lap 1, I think, or lap 2, the latest. Just a bad start off the line. Russell did nothing. You know what? The more times I see that incident between Russell and Sainz, I think Sainz could have avoided it. I think Sainz come out of turn 1 and tried to switch back on Max. But in switching back, in trying to switch back and come across the track, Russell's already down the inside and swipes him out. So I think it's... I think it's... the thing is, though, George Russell, despite the contact, the car looks fine. And this is this new... Because the nose is fused with the front wing now, they're more sturdy. I've already been on a full thing about that in the past. But yeah, the cars are more sturdy at the front now because they're not hanging on by two forks. The nose and the front wing is one. So it's more robust. And George Russell, virtually with no damage in P3, but being hunted down by Sergio Perez. Perez, 0.7 of a second behind George Russell now for P3. Perez has been on an absolute charge. I think he started outside the top 10 with his penalty. I think Perez started like 11th or 12th. Maybe even lower than that. But he's challenging for the podium already on lap 9. We're on lap 9 out of 56, by the way. Had it been a pretty damn exciting race so far? Or was it just your big goggles? No, it's been pretty good, man. Yeah. There was an incident straight off the... Well, if you've been watching it, I don't need to tell you. But yeah, it has been pretty good. Battles all through the field. Especially Norris and Gasly, and now Perez on the charge as well. Interestingly, Leclerc still behind the two Aston Martins. Leclerc up to P7, Perez up to P4, and here comes Perez and on George Russell. Is he going to go for it into turn 12? Doesn't, thinks better of it. Just not quite close enough to the Mercedes. But now we go into the final sector. Aston Martin still P5 and 6. I want to see... One thing we haven't seen, what I'd love to see, is a replay on board with Sebastian Vettel at the start of this race. Because he somehow came up from about 12th to 5th immediately. It must be something to do with Sainz being spun. Okay, Hamilton complaining. Well, Hamilton informing the team that the front tyres are starting to blister. And this is a three-way battle between Gasly, Norris, Bottas, 8th, 9th and 10th. Nose to tail down the pit straight as we start lap 10. Oh, is Norris going to go in turn 1? Norris is going in turn 1. Ooh, has to back out of it at the last second. Norris trying down the outside of Pierre Gasly. Down the inside of Pierre Gasly, sorry, into turn 1 at the top of the hill. But Gasly holds on to it for now. We've got this high-speed twist and turns of Sector 1 where it is pretty much single file. You're not going to overtake there. Next opportunity might be down into turn 11 hairpin or with DRS down the back straight and into turn 12 is probably going to be Norris's best chance. But Bottas looking good as well in P10, right behind Lando. So Lando doesn't know whether to attack or defend in P9. But it has been exciting. Yeah, Salty Dog. Here comes Lando then with DRS, 8th gear, 317 kilometres an hour. And here he comes then. Oh, I tell you what, Gasly feigned the defensive move, but in the end didn't. But Norris didn't go for it. Verstappen saying he's struggling with load on the tyres. We see a track map there. You've got there's three that are way off the back of the pack. Albon, Zhou and Latifi are way off the back of the pack. They've been absolutely... Has Albon already pitted? Has Albon already had a pit stop? I don't know, but they're way off the back of the pack. Those three, Albon, Zhou, Latifi, on the track map. Anyway, as Bottas pits on lap 11. This is a two-stop race then. At least. That's early, isn't it? I would have thought lap 17 or something like that. Getting on towards lap 20. But it's lap 11 and Bottas is in for a set of the hard tyres. So is Tsunoda. Tsunoda and Ricciardo pit as well. Oh, it's not the best pit stop in the world from the Alfa Romeo crew there. I feel like that was 3 or 4 seconds longer than it should have been from Bottas. A nice pit stop from Yuki Tsunoda though, 2.3. Ricciardo with a 4-second pit stop. I think Bottas had about a 6-second pit stop there. Back out onto the circuit they come then, and Bottas now down in P14, but with the pit stop. Alpine are now 10th and 11th. Alonso and Ocon. Leclerc's got DRS on Sebastian Vettel for P6. It's Leclerc v Vettel into the final sector, lap 11. Hamilton saying the tyres are still okay on team radio. They're with the wind. She's like the wind. Hey, I said there wouldn't be any singing on the stream. Kim's a singer around here. Verstappen 4.4 second lead now over Lewis Hamilton on lap 12. And Hamilton 6.6 ahead of Russell in P3. It's Perez P4. I think Perez still on the back of George Russell. My screen's too far away to see what the gaps are, but I think Perez is on the back of George Russell. Then you've got the 2 Aston Martins under pressure from Charles Leclerc in P7. Verstappen team radio. Okay. Verstappen being warned about the bump on the run down to turn 12 on the back straight. And Gasly's in the pits then to cover off Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri Bottas might have pulled an undercut. Yeah, Bottas has pulled the undercut card, and here comes Gasly out onto the circuit. But the undercut didn't work. Well, Bottas did have a slightly slower pit stop, and that may have cost him, as we cut to the battle for P6 between Vettel and Leclerc. Leclerc's going to get DRS down the back straight now. Surely Leclerc in the Works Ferrari is going to get past the Aston Martin here now, down into turn 12. Here comes Leclerc then, DRS wide open. Down the inside of 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel, and takes the position. So Leclerc up to P6 now. Hamilton being told to get on with it. I think Hamilton and the Mercedes are thinking about doing a pit stop. Lap 12 it is. And we're already in the pit stop phase. Yeah, Verstappen pulling away from Hamilton, and maybe that's why Mercedes are pulling the trigger, and Hamilton's in. Hamilton pits from P2, a set of hard tyres for Lewis Hamilton. 2.9 second stop. Not brilliant, but not a disaster, as Perez then is promoted up into P3. Where's he going to come out? He's going to come out behind, as Leclerc's past Vettel, and Hamilton's going to come out behind that pack in front of Lando Norris. So Hamilton's in the gap between Vettel and Norris, so comes out P7. Yeah, Lewis has got to absolutely foot to the floorboard now. I feel like Verstappen's got this one covered, just like every other race this season. Oh, the thing is, Carlos Sainz being taken out of the race immediately. Okay. So the question is now, are Red Bull going to react to this immediately and pit Verstappen now, or are Red Bull going to go on a different strategy? As we see Perez catching George Russell, and this is for second now that Lewis has pitted. And the thing is, Perez has got that front wing damage, but he's still rapid. He's still quicker than Mercedes. We're on board Sergio Perez into the final sector. Flat out round turn 16, 17. Max will come in 2 laps. It might even be shorter than that. Max is in right now, Anto. Max pits then for the set of the hard tyres to cover off Lewis Hamilton. They're on the same strategy, and he should come out of the pits with a 4-second lead at least. And Russell's in as well. So will Perez lead the race? And will do. Perez will lead the race, yet to stop. Russell's in, and Verstappen Oh my God, Stroll fancying round the outside of Max Verstappen, but Verstappen holds it off, and Verstappen's well ahead of Hamilton then. That has worked out just about perfectly for Max Verstappen. Comes out of the pits, and he's got an Aston Martin, two Aston Martins in a Ferrari in between him and Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, it's looking good for Max on lap 14. He's taking his pit stop. He's got ahead of Stroll and Leclerc. So the running order now, with half the drivers having taken pit stops and half of them haven't. So this is irrelevant. But it's Perez, Verstappen, Stroll, Leclerc, Vettel, Hamilton, Norris, Alonso, Russell, Schumacher, top 10. Come on, Mick. As Leclerc's got DRS on Lance Stroll for P3, provisional P3. And Charles Leclerc down the inside of the Aston Martin and takes a P3. So it's Perez, Verstappen, Leclerc, top 3. But obviously Verstappen's pitted, whereas Perez, Leclerc, Stroll, Vettel haven't pitted. So yeah, 4 out of the top 5 haven't pitted yet. So it is yet to sort of work itself out. But Aston are in for a good day. If they don't implode and the either reliability wise, driver error or strategy error, if Aston Martin keep it clean, they're on for a bag full of points today. As Sergio Perez pits. Now, are they going to put a new front wing on it? Are you going to put a new front wing on her or not? No, you're not. So they're not bothering the front wing change. They're saying, nah, front end fence, who needs one of them? And Perez is going to come out of the pits. P6. Yeah, Perez is going to be 6th. And they didn't change the Red Hill. That's one way to spell it. I'm not going to jinx him, but with Max complaining about the wind, it makes me feel like you're going to spin at some point. That's what happened to Nico Rosberg, didn't it, once round here? He spun under pressure and blamed it on a gust of wind. It's a bit of a weak excuse, isn't it? There was a gust of wind, spun. Sorry, guys. Having a laugh. We're watching Alexander Albon under pressure from Yuki Tsunoda. They're battling for 15th. Cut to Lewis Hamilton, P5, coming up to the back of the Aston Martin duo. What have you missed? Everyone's taking the pit stops. And we're going to see how it all works itself out. It's Verstappen from Leclerc, Stroll, Vettel, Hamilton, top 5. But Leclerc, Stroll and Vettel are yet to pit. It's still looking like a good day for Aston Martin, though. Alonso up to P7, yet to stop. He's on the hard tyre, so he's on a different strategy. So Alonso is one to sort of watch on the back burner. Let's see what Alonso can do, because he's on a different strategy. And Stroll pits then. So it's Lance Stroll in the pit for Aston Martin. Vettel stays out and takes P3 for the time being. Leclerc's not been in yet. He's P2. And Stroll on pit exit then. So that promotes Perez and Russell and Alonso up. Alonso P7 now. And Hamilton has passed Vettel into turn 1. We're going to get a replay of Hamilton v Vettel. And yeah, Lewis with a bit of a send into turn 1. Gets the job done nice and neat in the end. And Lewis up to, what's that, P3 then. So Hamilton up to P3 now. That's going to become P2 when Leclerc pits. So Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton, Vettel, Perez, top 5. With Vettel, Leclerc yet to pit. Mick Schumacher, P9. Come on, Mick. Let's get some points today. Let's get some points today, Mick, lad. Under pressure from Esteban Ocon, who started in the pit lane with his Spider-Man crash helmet on. Ocon looking for the move. Go on, defend it, Mick. Go on, defend it, yes. Make him go around the outside. Don't make it easy. Brake late, Mick. Oh, he's gone right round the outside here. Come on, Mick. Get the switch back on him, lad. Come on, into turn 30. Go on, Mick. Send it. You're fighting for your Formula 1 career. Line him up into turn 14. It's wider there. He's going to have to take a wide line. Just full send it, Mick. You're flipping trying the switchback. Oh, you can't fight an Alpine, can you? I'm dreaming thinking Mick's going to fight an Alpine. I'm off my bloody head. Russell down the inside of Fernando Alonso then. Turn 1. Damn flipping Mick. What have you missed? A few things. Yes, you're here. No worries, Ernesto. Pop in when you can, brother. Hope you're doing alright. And Flabby G's in as well. Well, I've been in since the beginning, I think. Plan E. Leclerc is asking for Plan E. How can he remember what Plan A, B, C, D was? To put them on the shelf and go Plan E. What the hell, man? I mean, if you're getting that far down the alphabet, it's gone wrong, hasn't it? If you're on Plan E, you've not had a good afternoon, have you? You know, if Plan A hasn't worked, if the first 4 plans haven't worked, what's your odds on the 5th plan working? Probably not very high. We're on lap 17. Okay. Yeah, Ernesto's the Whiskey King. Went wrong, Sainz crashed out. It went wrong when Sainz crashed out, yeah. It's a shame that. Initially, I was giving it full blame to George Russell on that one. With the first couple of times I saw it, I was like, George has just sent his nose into turn 1 and Gasly passes Magnussen for P10. But yeah, initially, when I first saw it, I thought that's Russell's fault. But then the more I sort of saw the replays, the more I thought, you know what? To me, it's almost as if Sainz wanted to cut back left. So he's on the outside of the circuit on the right-hand side. And on the exit, I think that Carlos Sainz is thinking, I'm going to switch back on Max. And I'm going to dart to the inside. And as he's trying to cut across the circuit, Russell's already down the inside. And so they collide. So I don't think it is 100% George Russell's fault, that collision. I think Sainz to go. But here we are with Valtteri Bottas, who's spun off. And he's out of the race. Safety car. And they pull a safety car. So Bottas is out. Let me see a replay of this. Okay, so he's coming into turn 19. A very high speed left hand and loses the rear end. Spins off. Gets beached in the gravel. Game over. Wow, safety car's out. And Valtteri Bottas out of the race. Alfa Romeo. I tell you what. Bottas has not had a great season, really, has he? If you take away the first half dozen races from that point onwards, whether it's by DNF or flipping heck, he started off the season fantastic, but he's dropped off like a stone. And then Valtteri Bottas in the gravel trap full of stones. Valtteri Bottas in the gravel trap out of the race, lap 18, and Leclerc pits under safety car. So it's good for Ferrari. This is good for Ferrari. So yeah, Leclerc gets a cheap pit stop under safety car conditions. Maybe they're getting paid. I'll remember I say to Z gladly. I couldn't, for any amount of money, I can't remember 26 plans. You're mad. The alphabet beyond D. Leclerc pits, yeah. All good, no more drinking till next week. Get in there, Anto. Plan F for Ferrari. Right, Alonso's pitting. We've got a few more cars in the pits whilst the safety cars come out. Both Haas's are in the pits. Both Alpines are in the pits. We're going to see how this all irons itself out. But Gasly and Alonso going side by side to turn 1 under safety car conditions is not ideal. But yeah, safety car lap 19 out of 56. And Leclerc with the cheap pit stop. So Leclerc, P4. Has Leclerc managed to jump Russell? Is that the... they're just saying on the commentary that the truck that was on circuit in Japan a couple of weeks ago, and they didn't even know that the truck was on track. That's horrendous. Anyway, that was they were looking to get away with that in Japan. Look at the start, the replay of the start. Then Verstappen with a fantastic start. Right, it's okay. Let's have a look at this then with Russell, Sainz. Sainz cuts back in and it causes his own collision. Sainz cuts back in. I'm right. Sainz fancies a switchback. Sainz fancies a switchback on Verstappen, and it does. No, it's not Russell's fault. Yeah, he just cut across. Russell's right. Sainz cut across him. Yeah. Look, here we go. On board with Carlos. This is the angle we need to see. On board Carlos Sainz. Yeah, he tried to cut back. No, lad. Sainz's own fault. Yeah. Yeah, Sainz is on the exit of turn 1 and fancies the switchback on Verstappen. So tries to cut across the circuit. Russell's already down the inside. It's the start of the race, man. Everyone's going to be in close proximity. You can't just start cutting across the race circuit. So I would completely change my initial opinion. My initial opinion was it's Russell's fault. I'll go full 180 and say that ain't Russell's fault. It's Sainz has put himself in the bin there. Yeah, unfortunately. And even... Oh, the kid's name, Ferrari are mad. Yeah, Ferrari are mad. Russell got the 5-second penalty. Has he? I didn't even know that. Has Russell been given a 5-second penalty for that? If he has, then the FIA, the stewards need to have another look at the replay, because that ain't Russell's fault. Put it this way, if I was in Russell's position, I'd be like, there's nothing to do with me. That he's just cutting right across. What am I supposed to do? I can't go full ghost mode. Can't go invisible. We're watching drone cam, so we're still behind the safety car. It shouldn't be out for much longer, this safety car. If it doesn't come in at the end of this lap, surely at the end of the next lap. I don't know if they've recovered Bottas' stricken Alfa Romeo on the exit of turn 19 yet, but at the body shop. Call out my name. Hamilton team radio. Russell served the penalty in his pit stop. Oh, did he? I didn't even know he got a penalty. Maybe I was too busy shouting about the battles on circuit that I totally missed that George got a penalty and has already served it then in the pit stop, has he? I didn't even know. So yeah, we're behind the safety car, and the order is Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Leclerc, Russell, Vettel, Stroll. So the Aston Martin's still 6th and 7th. Gasly, P8. Then you've got Alonso, Norris rounds out the top 10. It's then Tsunoda, Ocon, Schumacher, Zhou Guanyu, Kevin Magnussen, Ricciardo, Albon, Latifi, Bottas, Sainz, both out. Yeah, so we've got 18 runners left. And yeah, they're just pointing out on Sky that if it stays like this, Red Bull will be the... yeah, in all likelihood, it's 99.9% certain that Red Bull are going to be Constructors' Championship winners at the end of this race. 99.9% certain. I think they're saying that Leclerc would have to win the race and both Red Bulls DNF for it to continue on to Mexico. Red Bull are the champions in 2022. Interestingly, the first Constructors' Championship that Red Bull have won since 2013. Last year, even though Verstappen won the Drivers' Championship, Mercedes still won the Constructors' Championship, even last year. So this is the first Red Bull Championship for near enough a decade. Yeah, full 10 seasons since they last won it. We're seeing replays of the of some of the battles so far in this United States Grand Prix. Russell got the 5 seconds, served it Lewis had his brakes changed. No, you can't change the brakes in the pits. Oh, did he have his brakes changed on the grid? Is that what happened? Because I wasn't watching it. I was on my own little preview mode. So I wasn't even watching. I actually got a notification on my phone 10 minutes before the race started that said they're messing around with Lewis's car with 5 minutes to go. I was like, what's going on here? Is that what they did? Change his brakes? And he's not happy with it. Right, safety car coming in. Here we go. We're going to get this race back underway. We're on lap 21 out of 56. The safety car is going to come in, and it's going to be Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Leclerc, Russell, top 5. Let's go. And Verstappen backing up the pack now. They're on the exit of turn 14. He's letting the safety car get the gap and get into the pits, and then Verstappen's going to gun it. Oh, I hope Lewis can stick with him. I hope Lewis can stick with him. Come on, Lewis. I can see this being a Red Bull 1-2, even with Sergio Perez's front wing. He's looked rapid, even with a broken front wing. Here we go then. I tell you what, Hamilton's gone with Verstappen here. Come on then. Let's go, guys. The race is back underway as we are about to start lap 22 of 56. We're almost halfway through this United States Grand Prix. I tell you what, it's Russell and there's Vettel all over the back of George Russell coming into turn. Well, go on then, Vettel. Russell has to go defensive, and we've got an Alpine fighting a Toro Rosso behind. Alpha Tauri. And the two Aston Martins side by side on the exit of turn 1. Whoa, Norris battling with Tsunoda has passed Norris. Both Alpha Tauris now in the top 10. It's Gasly P9, Tsunoda P10 as the United States Grand Prix gets back underway. It's Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Leclerc, Russell, Vettel, Stroll, Alonso, Gasly, Tsunoda now the top 10 as we see the two Haas battling at the end of Sector 1. And it looks like we've got Esteban Ocon. Go on then, Mick. And Mick passes Esteban Ocon. Let's go. Mick Schumacher up to P12. Oh, there's been a massive crash. Oh, there's a massive crash. Oh my God, it's a massive crash between Fernando Alonso and I think Lance Stroll. I think Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso have had a huge incident. What the hell has happened there? That's an incredible. I saw Alonso flying through the air. I genuinely saw Alonso flying through the air at 180 mile an hour then. What the hell has just happened? The camera only cut to it at the end of that crash. I didn't even see. I think Alonso's gone. Oh my God, look at the state of this. This is going to be a long safety car period. And I hope that Lance Stroll is alright, man. That Lance Stroll's had a huge crash there. I think it's Stroll and Alonso. That was madness. I don't understand how you can have such a... What a mad incident. It's huge. He's still on the track with a bunch of debris. I know he's still sat in the car with debris everywhere. I hope he's all good, but that's... So Alonso... What the hell? Right, so Alonso's in the pits for a new front wing and a set of tyres. Okay, Stroll's out of the car. He's all right. Look, he's all right. So the good thing is you can breathe a sigh of relief. Stroll seems absolutely fine. He's out of the car, but the car is absolutely destroyed. Here we go for a replay. This is going to be very interesting to see what the bloody hell's happened here. Right, so it's Alonso behind Stroll. Oh, you see the back. Oh my God, bro. Do you know what that's like? Flashbacks of Webber versus Kovalainen, Valencia. Oh, Alonso on a full wheelie. Alonso nearly flipped upside down like Mark Webber did about 12 years ago. Whoa, man, that's a massive. The thing is, it's Stroll that jinxed left at the final sector, the final second. Wow, mad incident, absolutely mad one. Yeah, it's very similar to an incident between Mark Webber and Heikki Kovalainen at the 2000 and... Oh, if I get this right, I'm a fucking goat. 2012 European Grand Prix. Yeah, there was a very similar incident between Mark Webber and Heikki Kovalainen about 10 years ago. I'll try and nail the year. I don't know which year. 2010-ish. Where the high speed, one car hits the back of another, and because he hits the tyre that's going at 200 mile an hour, it flips the car that's behind in the air, and Webber actually spun all the way back. Webber actually fully flipped over in that incident. I think it's 2010. The more I think about it, the more I think it's 2010. But yeah, it was shades of that. Alonso's gone for the overtake on Lance Stroll at top speed, and Alonso has jinked out right at the last second to overtake him because he's come up right behind him, and literally just as his front wing's about to touch the back of Lance Stroll's car, he's jinked out, and at exactly the same time that Alonso's jinked out to actually overtake him, Stroll's done a little bit of a jink to the left, and boom! And Alonso's lucky not to end up upside down there. Alonso pulling the car was literally at like a 45-degree angle, coming down the straight at 180 mile an hour. Incredible. Look at it on board with Mick Schumacher. That's mad. What must he think has gone on there? Incredible scenes on board with Mick Schumacher. On board with Lando Norris. What does it look like from his perspective? Just debris, smoke everywhere. Carbon fibre hitting him on the helmet. Oh, it's absolute chaos. That Aston Martin is completely ruined. And it goes without saying, the safety car's out. Madness. I'm just glad that Lance Stroll is walked away with from that one, seemingly unharmed. So it's a win all round in that respect. It was huge. Could have been much worse. It could have been much worse. It could have been like Mark Webber, where he fully flipped upside down. I think it was 2010 European Grand Prix at Valencia. It was just like it was virtually an identical scenario to that. And Alonso, I tell you what, Alonso nearly was upside down there. Another couple of degrees and boom, he's flipping. He was at a full 45-degree angle there. And now they start to clear the debris off the back straight, but it's going to be at least, I'd say, another half dozen laps behind the safety car, I'd say at least. As Stroll is back in the paddock. So, he's all right. Thank God for that. It was so close from flipping, man. It was literally at this angle at like 150 mile an hour plus. You know what I mean? A gust of wind there, and he's gone. that was no, seriously, that was a mad one. That's the kind of incident you only see once a year. That's the kind of big incident you only see like once a season. You only see that kind of crash once a season, really. Yeah, that was a monster one. I mean, Zhou Guanyu's was pretty horrific in Silverstone, when he was flipping pinned up against the barrier. That one was pretty insane. But that one, in terms of high speed crash, was pretty crazy. Stroll was having a good race. I've not even thought of that. But you're right. I've not even thought of that, Carl. That Stroll was like 6th. Gutted. Yeah, Stroll was like 6th or 7th. I think he was Stroll ahead of Vettel. I think Stroll was P6 or 7th. One of the two. He was in a good position. He was in a position to get, a good handful of points today. And I've not even thought of that, but yeah, what an absolute rip. There's a replay of it again. Look at the angle of Fernando's car there. That's going to make for some kind of photography. That's crazy. And now David Croft mentions the Mark Webber Heikki Kovalainen crash. I'm 10 minutes ahead of you, David Croft. Oh, look at that. Fernando Alonso with the full wheelie. Full 45-degree wheelie at 180 mile an hour. Whoa, they're absolutely mad. Yeah, that Aston Martin is destroyed. Wow. This is an ultra slow motion replay. And he's lucky. Actually, Lance Stroll's luckily not to be collected by the pack behind. I tell you what, they've soon cleared this up because the safety car's coming in. Get in. Hey, I tell you what, I thought we were going to have a good 20-minute safety car there while they cleared it up. They've cleared it up rapid. We're about to get back underway. Okay, here we go. We've had the carnage. Let's have a good second half of the race now. We're on the lap. We're going to start lap 26 out of 56 of the United States Grand Prix, and hopefully it's a clean restart after the chaos that was between Alonso and Stroll the previous time they tried to get this race back underway. And Verstappen's bolted and we're gone and we're back underway. Green flags. I can't believe they cleaned that up so quick. That was like a 5-minute stop after one of the worst crashes I've ever seen. And yeah, you got a 2-hour delay for a bit of rain in Japan and only a 5-minute delay when there's a huge incident. But I'm not complaining. We're back underway. It's Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez. And look at George Russell all over the back of Charles Leclerc for P4 into turn 1. Yeah, through the high-speed sector 1 they go. But it's all single file around there. You can't be overtaken in the first sector. First opportunity for overtaking is diving down the inside of turn 11 and then getting the DRS, although we won't have DRS for 2 or 3 laps whilst we get this underway. Get this back underway. So it is Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Leclerc, Russell, Vettel, Gasly, Snowden, Norris, Mick Schumacher in points paying P10 at the moment. Come on, Mick. Fighting for your life. Let's go. He's right behind Lando Norris. But Sebastian Vettel fancying a look at George Russell for P5. Go on then, Seb. He's right behind that Mercedes, but just not close enough to make a move. Yeah, and they've got to wait a couple of laps for DRS, so he had to do it just purely on slipstream and battery power. So Max Verstappen purple in sector 2. So it's flipping. Stroll's having a good race. Yeah. John's in. Welcome. Yeah, pointless, but I love it. Here we go then for lap 27. Flabby's in. Lando Norris trying to pull a defensive move. I tell you what, Mick Schumacher. Come on, Mick. P10. He needs some points to save his Formula 1 career. And he's looking good. He's looking quick, man. Come on, Mick. He needs a good day out, Martin Brundle. Exactly the same rhetoric that I'm saying. Here we go. Verstappen complain about drivability. Strat 2, they tell him on the team radio. So Verstappen not that happy. Hamilton 1.4 seconds behind as Brad Pitt looks on from one of the, I think Brad Pitt's in the Mercedes garage. Such a missed opportunity for Lance Stroll. Aston Martin to be fuming with Lance Stroll's retirement, but they've still got Sebastian Vettel up there in P6. The gap between Verstappen and Hamilton now 1.9 seconds. Perez a second behind Hamilton and Leclerc is the closest of the four within a second of Sergio Perez. So when they get DRS activated again, look out for Leclerc on the back of Perez. Then comes Russell, Vettel, Gasly, Tsunoda. So it's looking like a good day for AlphaTauri up there, P7, P8, Norris P9, and come on then, Mick, in P10. Let's get a point today. We've got Stroll, Bottas and Sainz out. Today, it's time to score a point, Mick. Come on. I'm going to be watching that Mick. And his gap to Kevin behind and the gap to Norris ahead. He's currently 7/10 of a second behind Lando Norris. As we cut to on board Charles Leclerc through the high-speed sector 1. Guys, if you are new to the stream, by the way, please do drop me a like. It does help out the channel. Obviously, I'm new to this the Watchalong Formula 1 game this season, so it's obviously just a minuscule channel at the moment. But every single like and every single one of you that hit subscribe really does help the channel so that we can grow and start pushing on next season. Hopefully we get a much closer championship battle as well. That'll probably help out the figures. But yeah, every bit of interaction helps, guys. Get in the live chat, get in the conversation as we watch Charles Leclerc closing in on Sergio Perez, who's been rocking some front wing damage since lap 1, but they opted not to change the front wing in the pit stop. So Perez is just running around with a broken front wing for the entire race and looking fine. Vettel's in for a good day here because he's got Gasly and Tsunoda behind him. I think Vettel can keep P6. He's on the medium tyre though, so has Vettel gone medium? Whereas everyone else has switched onto the hard tyres. Hey, look at... Oh... Mick's behind. I tell you what, Mick's looking racy. Come on. As Lando's looking down the inside of Yuki Tsunoda into turn 1, but Tsunoda holds on to it. We've got a 4-way fight there for P7. 7 down to 11th. Oh, sorry, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Nose to tail, the two AlphaTauris, Norris and Schumacher. And Schumacher's gapping Kevin Magnussen, pulling away from him. Oh, you've got to give him the seat for 2023. Come on, guys. Question for the chat, which driver are you backing? Yeah, which driver are you backing, guys? I'm backing Mick Schumacher. Oh, even though this is Kevin Magnussen t-shirt. I don't know if you can even get a Mick Schumacher t-shirt. Does Mick Schumacher even have merch? I don't even know. I need to get on a shopping one for next season. Oh, he's not even going to be here, is he? Brutal. Rip to myself. Leclerc going round the outside of Sergio Perez, the side-by-side in turn 12. He's pushed him off the track. Leclerc wide in turn 12, way off the circuit, and Perez keeps ahead. Oh, game on. That's because he's got DRS. Leclerc with DRS side by side with Perez into turn 12. Perez holds on for now. Perez, like I was saying, has got that front wing damage that he's had since lap 1. And we're going to see a replay of it now. So Perez goes defensive. Leclerc round the outside then. And just doesn't get it stopped in time. Runs wide, way off the circuit. And Perez just about holds on to the position. Leclerc could have brake later into turn 13 and carried the fight on. But he probably best not to, because he would have got a penalty for going off the circuit and gaining positions. So Leclerc, with the right idea of backing out of that one and going again on lap 30 out of 56 now. Leclerc v Perez for P3. Come on, Lewis, says Matty Parker. Yeah, I'd love to see a Lewis victory, but I think Max has got it covered at the minute. 2 seconds is the gap. Made that 1.9 between Verstappen and Hamilton at the front. This is where the battle is. It's for P3 between Sergio Perez and Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc hunting down that Red Bull. Down they go then into the turn 11 hairpin. And he's going to try and line him up with DRS. This is his big opportunity now, so he's got to just line it up nicely on the exit, not too aggressive on the power, and he's going to get DRS open now. We're on board. Charles Leclerc up the hill, going into turn 12. I don't think he's going to be close enough, is he? It's going to be a late lunge if he's going to try it. Oh, Perez defends late, but Leclerc goes through the side-by-side, and what a move! What a move from Charles Leclerc there. Late lunge, late on the brakes, and For a split second, I was like, he's backed out of it. And boy, he went for it. There was just about enough space for his Ferrari down the inside of Sergio Perez there. Pass of the race for sure. And Leclerc up to P3 from P12 on the grid. He's made up 9 positions. What a race from Charles Leclerc. What a move that is. We've seen a replay of it now. Perez tries to defend it. Oh, it's a first. Perfect. No contact. Pushes Sergio wide. Doesn't go off the circuit himself. Great move from Charles Leclerc. Cut to the 4-way battle for P7 rages on. Gasly, Tsunoda, Norris, Mick Schumacher. Come on, Mick. If I tell you what, if Mick passes Lando, party started. I tell you what, this is giving Vettel breathing space. The thing is, Vettel's on the wrong tyre, is he though? Vettel on the medium tyre in P6. 5-second penalty for Pierre Gasly? Why? Perez team radio. Like 31 out of 56. Well. No, he doesn't need to give back the position. Perez claiming that Leclerc needs to give back the position. Rubbish. It was perfect from Charles Leclerc. It's Verstappen now with a 2.1 second lead over Lewis. Verstappen is just pulling away ever so slightly by a tenth a lap as Pierre Gasly under massive pressure from his teammate Yuki Tsunoda into turn 12. And Lando Norris right behind that. And Mick Schumacher looking racy in P10. What an evil move. Oh, it was evil, man. I'm back in Max. Come on, son of William. What? His dad's called Jos. Max's dad is called Jos. F1 driver in the 90s, he was. Yeah, so Max has been brought up with Formula 1. Oh, look at it. Pierre Gasly pulling away from Yuki Tsunoda now. Mick needs to keep within that DRS of Lando Norris. Gasly's creating a DRS train with Norris, Tsunoda, Norris, and Mick Schumacher. Okay, what's going on here? A replay from the safety car period on board with Pierre Gasly. Oh, he dropped too far behind the car in front. Is that what's happened? Right, so under safety car conditions, you've got to stay within 10 lengths of the car in front, and Pierre Gasly had dropped beyond that rhetoric, and so gets a 5-second penalty for. It was a bit harsh, innit? But we're watching Russell v Perez. So Perez is dropping off now. Perez is falling back after charging through the pack from. I think he started outside the top 10, didn't he? I think he started about 13th, did Perez. He charged through all the way as high as P3. He's now dropping back. Leclerc's past him, and Russell is David Cross summing it up perfectly, saying it's the battle of the broken front wings, because it is. George Russell with a broken front end fence, and Sergio Perez with no front wing end fence. What happened to Valtteri? Ossie, welcome to the stream, by the way, and cheers for getting involved in the chat. Valtteri Bottas spun off at the second to last corner, high speed left-hander turn 19, spun off at 100 mile an hour plus, spun into the gravel, beached it, and it was out of the race. Probably about lap 22, somewhere around there. So about 10 or 15 laps ago, Valtteri Bottas spun out of the race, got beached in the gravel, created a safety car, which then created a huge incident between Stroll and Alonso. So the 3 retirements are Carlos Sainz, who was involved in an incident, turn 1, lap 1, Valtteri Bottas out with the reason I just said, spinning out turn 19, and Lance Stroll out after a huge incident with Fernando Alonso, in which I'm just glad that he's okay, because that was a mad one. He's from the Netherlands. Oh, is he? Oh, they've got a royal family, haven't they, the Netherlands? Yeah. Not sure the name yet. Just being filmed now. What's being filmed? You're having a conversation. I don't even know what's going on. Replay on board with Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso's got a broken mirror. Alonso fighting one of the McLarens. I think that was Alonso passing Daniel Ricciardo for 14th. Right, let's have a rundown then. So we've got Verstappen from Hamilton, 1.5 seconds is the gap now. So Hamilton's brought that down from, it was 2.1, now it's 1.5. So Hamilton starting to close back into the back of Max Verstappen for the lead. It's Leclerc P3, Perez, Ed Sheeran's at the race. I'll tell you what, if I had a shave and grew my hair out, I could look, but I don't want to look like him. Yeah, so it's Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, Perez, P4, George Russell, P5. Sebastian Vettel looking good in P6, but is he on the wrong tyres? Can he get to the end on a set of mediums there? We've got, what, 22 laps to go. So I don't know if Vettel's going to have to stop again. Norris is 7th. Oh, wait a minute, what's happened here? Is Schumacher pitted? Oh, hang on a minute. So both AlphaTauris and Mick have pitted then? For a second time? They didn't show that on the TV, did they? So that's given Norris and Magnussen big breathing space. Gap for the lead, 1.6 seconds. Right, so I think, so both AlphaTauris of Tsunoda and Gasly have pitted. Mick's pitted, so they're down at the back now. Is everyone else going to have to do a second pit stop? Well, mind you, a lot of people pitted under the safety car as well. But Lewis, now the gap's 2.1. The gap is fluctuating and Hamilton is in the pits. So Hamilton pits, what tyres are they putting on that? Another set of hard tyres. Brand new shiny set of hard tyres for Lewis, Hamilton, as Leclerc and Perez and everyone else gets promoted up a position. Probably cheesy enough. Ed Sheeran has bad habits, yeah. My bad habits lead to late nights. Yeah, that's the second time I said I'm not singing. Lando Norris is in as well. This has triggered a load of pit stops. And Norris on pit exit then. Yeah, so he was in a big battle with the AlphaTauris and Mick, wasn't he? Lando. So here we go then. Oh, I tell you what. Yuki Tsunoda then was with the attitude of there is no way that I am not beating you into turn one. He cut across that circuit so harshly to let Lando Norris know I am going to beat you into turn one no matter what. And here comes George Russell then looking at the back of Sergio Perez. I tell you what, Leclerc, Perez and Russell, this fight for P2. Well, Lewis has pitted, so it's the battle for P3 really. The battle for the final podium spot is absolutely hotting up here with Leclerc, Perez and Russell separated by about 2 seconds. Verstappen being told to pit, right. Is Lewis on? Is Lewis challenging Max? Max pits. Is Lewis looking good here? Max is in. Is Max going mediums? Oh, it's a slow stop! It's a slow stop! It's a slow stop! They messed it up! Lewis is going to take the lead! Lewis is going to take the lead! It's a bad, horrible stop from Max Verstappen! 11-second pit stop from Max Verstappen and the Red Bull crew! Even Leclerc's got ahead of him! Leclerc's jumped him in the pits! Hamilton's going to lead the race! Oh, is this the moment? Is this the moment that Mercedes finally break the duck and win a race in 2022? Massive moment in the US Grand Prix. 11-second pit stop on lap 36 for Max Verstappen. Oh, it's massive. Oh my God. Right, Lewis is going to lead if everyone else pits, but is everyone else going to pit? Oh, this is massive. Is this Lewis's win now? Is this Lewis's win now? Can't touch it. Is this Lewis's win now? Oh, as we see, Perez, what a race this has become. What a race, guys. I always knew. I said, when the championship's wrapped up, bang, gloves off, let's have a race. There's no pressure, let's go. Perez v Russell for the lead. This is a battle for the lead now between Perez and Russell. Let's go. 20 laps to go in the United States Grand Prix. What a race this has turned into. Verstappen with the 11-second pit stop. You're joking, aren't you? Front left. Is an issue with the front left. Oh, unlucky. Double world champion Max Verstappen, 11.1 second pit stop. Oh, big hit. Let's go. Russell's in the pits. Perez leads. Vettel up to P2. Sebastian Vettel, P2 for Aston Martin. Let's go. If I was him, I just wouldn't pit. I'd be like, do whatever you want. I'm not pitting. I don't care if everyone... I'd just stay out. Sod it. I would just stay out. Magnussen's 6th. Magnussen's just gone around the outside of George Russell. Oh my God. Magnussen's 6th. What in the hell is going on here now? Oh, this is chaos. If I'm Sebastian Vettel, I'm staying out. I'm staying out. I don't even care. I'm doing 19 laps on the tyres no matter what. Verstappen team radio. Right, Max is going to be on an absolute charge now. Max is going to be bit between his teeth. He's going to be angry. Perez trying to hold everyone up. Boom, get in. Yeah, Lewis can win this now. I'm torn between trying to read the chat and watch the battle between Verstappen and Leclerc for P4. And George Russell down the inside of Kevin Magnussen into turn 12 then. So Russell takes back that P6. Oh, Verstappen all over the back of Charles Leclerc. Oh, this is what we want. This is what we want. Look at the price is fine. What the hell? Max standing. What the hell is that? I don't have a clue what that comment is, and it's gone. Cheers, guys. That was a mad comment. I don't know what. It didn't make any sense to me. Perez trying to hold everyone up. Come on, Lewis. Yes. Kind of want Verstappen to spin out just so we get a new winner. Well, yeah, my celebration of Max's slow pit stop was on the hope that someone else can flipping win a race this season, for goodness sake. And it is Verstappen v Leclerc. And this is epic. We are going hammer and tongs in Austin, Texas here between Leclerc and Verstappen. They're fighting over P4. Oh, this is a blockbuster, this now. Oh, Verstappen's going to get him down into turn 12, isn't he? Can Lewis win this? Is Perez going to stay out? If I'm Vettel, I'd definitely stay out. Can Vettel get a podium? Mate, if Sebastian Vettel is on the podium, I think I might be in tears. That'd be emotional. I don't think he'll get on the podium, but Vettel can get like top 6 now, surely. If he stays out, surely Vettel's on for top 6 now. Mad. It's Perez being told to pit. Oh, Vettel's going to lead the race. Vettel's going to lead. I don't know what the gap is between Vettel and Hamilton. Vettel's going to lead the race, I hope. I hope Vettel stays out. You've got to stay out if you're Seb, don't you? Black and white flag for car 24. Zhou Guan Yu, track limits. Right, Perez is in. Oh, Vettel's going to lead. Is he? Vettel leads the race. I did not expect to be saying today that Sebastian Vettel leads the United States Grand Prix, but it is factual. As Verstappen tries it down the inside, Verstappen dives down the inside of turn 1. Oh, Leclerc's got the switch back. Leclerc gets the position back on the exit of turn 1. Verstappen v Leclerc. This is what we've wanted all season. This rings at the first 2 or 3 races where it was Verstappen versus Leclerc. And Vettel leads the race. Lewis Hamilton 1.8 seconds behind him. Vettel leading the race for Aston Martin. Incredible. We've got a battle here P3 between Leclerc and Verstappen. Perez is now 5th, Russell 6th, Kevin Magnussen's P7. Where's Mick? Why did they all pit and now they're at the back? Wow. I tell you what, he's got DRS open. It's Max Verstappen. They're down the all. Leclerc tries defensive, but Max is down the inside and already got the job done. Right, Charles, just let him keep that. Now, get the switch back on him now and go full send in turn 13. Verstappen's got the move done into turn 12. So Verstappen overtakes Leclerc on lap 39 for P3. But, and he defends. Max defends it into turn 14. Go on, get a nice exit. Flat out round turn 16. Chase him back, Charles. Come on. Max gets the position. Vettel leads. What the hell is this? Gasly mudded. I can't believe what's happened to Norris, Gasly, Tsunoda, Schumacher. Like, worst strategy ever. Worst strategy ever. They were like 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. And now they're flipping 13th, 14th, 15th. Worst strategy ever from the Alpha Tauris and flipping Mick and Lando. They're done. Oh, and we see a replay of Max diving down the inside of Charles Leclerc into turn 1. Leclerc with a beautiful switchback on the exit, but Max gets the job finally completed. We see a replay of Perez v Russell. We missed this on the exit of the pit lane. Whoa. And they went side by side round turn 2 and 3. Did Perez and Russell. What a race we've had here. Wow, they didn't even show that live. What a lovely race this is. Come on, Lewis, please win it. He's got a chance. He's got a chance. What a duel for P3 yet. Exactly, Simon. This is it. The lapping ones. They're closing in on Lewis rapid. Oh, and Hamilton right behind Vettel for the lead then on lap 40 out of 56. Hamilton and Vettel fighting for the lead. What year is this? What decade is this? We've gone back 15 years, guys. It's Hamilton versus Vettel for the lead. If you're Vettel, you got to stay out there. You could sneak a P4 if you're Seb. He could sneak a P4. He's only got 16 laps to go. But Lewis is going to take the lead. But then you've got Verstappen on a rampage. Oh my God, they're going to be... Oh, this is going to be what a finale this is going to be to this race. As Lewis goes down the inside and takes the lead of the United States Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead on lap 41. With Verstappen and Leclerc closing in. Oh my God, what a race this is. This is race of the season. This is race of the season because even if Max wins it, he's got to pass Lewis. Oh my fuck. This is dream. This is dream. This is epic. With 14 laps to go, if Max is going to win it, he's going to have to pass Lewis on circuit for the lead. Oh, mate. You think Lewis is going to give this up easily? Oh, let's go. Let's go. What a finale we are getting here. Lewis in the lead, Matty, but Verstappen's going to close in at some kind of a rate of knots. I can see the final order being Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton, to be honest. Vettel can nick a P4 here. Vettel can nick a P4 here, which is massive points. Hamilton, Vettel, top 2. Verstappen with the fastest lap of the race in P3, closing in now on Vettel. Amazing that Vettel led this race. Oh, is Vettel pitting? Oh no, Vettel pits. Vettel pits. Vettel pits. It mustn't have been possible. It mustn't have been possible for Vettel to go to the end. I'd have been on that team radio saying, just let me go to the end. If I get a puncture, I get a puncture. Oh, it's a shame, man. It's a shame. So Seb ain't going to get this P4. And it's a slow pit stop as well. Oh, it's a slow... Oh, no. Oh, no. And Sebastian Vettel's team, Aston Martin, have absolutely put Vettel in the bin. Vettel's just gone from the lead of the race And now he's going to be at the back. He could have come out 6th. He's come out 13th. Oh, tragic, tragic, tragic. The Sebastian Vettel chapter of this race is over. What a shame. But now we look to Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez for the win. Let's go. 4-way fight for the win with 14 laps to go. Let's go. I can't believe it. Sebastian Vettel been put in the bin. Oh, Lando Norris on a dive down the inside of Yuki Tsunoda for P11. Poor Vettel, man. I can't believe it. He's only got 3 more races left in his career. Give him a break, man. Well, he had his... Overall, he's had a good day out, and he led the race. Do you know what I mean? He can go home. He can say, well, I led. Do you know what I mean? I led the race. You know, it was short lived, but I led the race. I had a fight for the win. It didn't pan out, but we had a go. Oh, what a shame. Anyway, I can't be talking about Seb for the entirety of the closing stages of this one, but yeah, Zhou Guan Yu in the points. So, right, now this all ironed itself out for a minute. It's Hamilton who leads from Max Verstappen by 3.3 seconds. Can Lewis Hamilton hold on for his first win of the season? Can he hold on? There's 13 laps to go. The gap's 3.3. We've got Leclerc in 3rd, Perez 4th, Russell 5th, Kevin Magnussen, P6 for Haas. What a drive. Then you've got, they're also running through the order as well on Sky. Fernando Alonso, P7, despite the huge incident with Stroll. Alonso ahead of Ocon. Ocon P8. Albon P9 at the moment, looking to pick up 2 points for Williams. It's Norris P10. And this is the battle we're watching, 10th, 11th, 12th. It's Norris, Zhou, Tsunoda. Then Vettel 13th after that horror show of a pit stop. And it's Gasly 14th. Mick Schumacher has faded due to strategy or whatever the hell. And Mick down in 15th after a great first half of the race. It's Latifi 16th. Ricciardo last of all in P17. The less said about that, the better. Verstappen's closing in. It's 2.5. Oh, Verstappen's closing in on Lewis. I don't think Lewis is going to be able to hold on here. I think Lewis is going to end up 3rd. I think it's going to end up Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton. Leclerc's keeping on to the back of Verstappen. Leclerc can still win this. Whoa, Lando Norris has just gone round the outside of Alexander Albon in turn 1. What a move. I tell you what, this race has had action virtually every single lap. What a race. Yo, the whole chat just lagged out then. Tommy's in, how are we saying? What are they racing for? The championships won. Question of the night, that is. Yeah, what are they racing for? I don't know. Cancel it. Yeah, cancel it. Championships won, no point. Wow. What a race we've had. Wow. Tons of drama literally from the start. Yeah, great exhibition race. Absolutely. Love it. This is one of the best races of the season because it's gloves off, pressure off, championships wrapped up. Let's have a race. Balls to the wall, wheel to wheel, pushing and shoving. Latifi and one of the Haas, I don't know if it's Mick Schumacher, but they've gone wheel to wheel. But what a race this has been. And it's now 2.2 seconds, the gap for the lead. Hamilton from Verstappen. This is... Sergio Perez could arrive on the scene for the win here. I still fancy Charles, you know. Charles is keeping up with Verstappen. Oh, Lewis can't hold on to this. Lewis can't hold on to this. If Lewis holds on to this, it might be his greatest win ever. If Lewis holds on to this, it's heroic. It ain't happening. Max is just going to rock up to the back of it with DRS down to turn 12 and like candy from a baby. Oh my God. I hope Lewis can fight it. I hope Lewis can fight this when Max turns up. This is fantastic. Lewis needs those mediums to go suddenly. He does, yeah. Lewis on the hard tyres. Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez on the mediums. Russell in 5th on the hard tyres. Magnussen on the mediums in P6. Then you got both Alpines 7th and 8th. Lando Norris 9th. Albon P10 in the Williams at the moment. But here comes Lando Norris versus Esteban Ocon. Norris down the inside, locking both front tyres into turn 12. And overtakes Spider-Man. Spider-Man's been overtaken. Esteban Ocon with a special edition crash helmet for this weekend. Has been passed by Lando Norris. So Norris up to P8 with 10 laps to go in the United States Grand Prix. Wow. 2.3 the gap between Hamilton and Verstappen for the lead. What happened to Ricciardo? I haven't got a clue, mate. What happened to Ricciardo? He's been terrible for 2 years is what's happened to Ricciardo. I don't know, man. I don't know why Ricciardo is 17th and last in this race. I don't know. It's just horrible. I can't explain it, Carl. I just can't. It's crazy. It's mad. Hold on, please, Lewis. Even Latifi's doing better. Even Latifi is 5 seconds ahead of Ricciardo, yeah. I have no idea. I mean, this is why he's not on the grid next year, isn't it, basically? You know what I mean? Neither of them are on the grid next year, Latifi and Ricciardo. They're both done out. It's just such a shame because Ricciardo was a beast in his Red Bull days. He used to beat Max. What's going on, man? What's been going on for the last 3 years? Right, the gap's less than 2 seconds now in between Hamilton and Verstappen at the front. 1.8. Oh my God, if Lewis holds on to this, it's bloody heroic. Oh my God, bro. This is a blockbuster finish, this. I haven't seen this going down to the wire, as Martin Brundle correctly points out. This race is going down to the wire. Less than 2 seconds for the lead. The crowd have been treated to an absolute barnstorm of a race today. What a race to be there live. Mate, what a race. If you've been on some flipping football watch-along, mate, you have missed an absolute cracker. But if you've been watching it, fair play. What a race this has been, Jordan. This is going down to the wire. Hamilton versus Verstappen for the win of the United States Grand Prix. I saw my John. I'm begging Lewis to hold on. He's riding a horse. Who's riding a horse? Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo rode a horse into the paddock on Thursday. Yeah, same. We're all wanting Lewis to hang on to it. Verstappen gets the RS multifunctional something or other. Hammer time. Yeah, you've been watching it. What a race this is, honestly. Come on, Max. No. Why did I read that comment out? Come on, Lewis. Hold on, lad. Hold on. Batten down the hatches. 1.3 seconds is the gap between Hamilton and Verstappen. It's 8 laps to go. Oh, he's not going to be able to hold on, is he? He's not. Oh, God, he's not going to be able to hold on. But I hope he can fight for it. As Ocon sends it down the inside of Nicholas Latifi for P15. Into turn 12, that's anonymous, and Daniel Ricciardo there in the background, 17th and last. Sebastian Vettel with the horror pit stop, was on for a podium, is now struggling there, down in P12. What a nightmare. Vettel shoulda, woulda, coulda got a massive amount of points this weekend. He should have been top 5 in this race, but they've messed it up for him, and now he's fighting for 12th. Nightmare for Sebastian Vettel. Oh, I'm watching that gap for the lead. It's still 1.3. Is Lewis weathering this 1.5? Is Lewis weathering the storm? Can Lewis hold on here? This is one of Lewis's greatest ever victories if he holds on to this. This is one of his best ever if he holds on to this. 1.5 is the gap. Leclerc P3, Perez P4, Russell P5, Magnussen up there in P6. How has he done that? I want to see story of the race, Kevin Magnussen. How is he pulling a P6 out of the bag? Ridiculous. Hope Hamilton gets 2 punctures. That's brutal. He only needs 1 and you're done out here. 2 is just cruel. 2 punctures. Why not 3 punctures? Then he's definitely out of the race. No, 1 puncture, you're done out here. Although Lewis has won a race with a puncture, so maybe that's why he needs to have 2 punctures. Then he'd definitely DNF. Because Hamilton's won a race with a puncture before. No, I hope Lewis holds on, man. You know, he hasn't won a race this season. Mercedes had a horrible first half of the season. They've come on good. Oh, I'm so nervous. Wow, they're not really bothered about Fernando Alonso with his mirror falling off. I don't want to see Fernando Alonso's mirror falling off, man. Make it 4 punctures. Yeah, 4 punctures and his steering wheel falls off. What about that? 4 punctures and the engine blows up, the steering wheel falls out, and the suspension snaps. Oh, the gap's a second. Oh, the gap's a second. The gap's 8 tenths. Oh, Verstappen's got DRS, man. Verstappen's got DRS. Verstappen's gonna... I can't believe this is the scenario. I can't believe... If someone had told me yesterday... The scenario with 5 laps to go is going to be Hamilton holding off Verstappen for the win, I'd go, you're having a laugh. That ain't going to be it. You're in dreamland. This is real. I can't believe this. Max is in DRS, lad. I hope, I pray that Lewis can fight it. I want to see him fight for it. I don't want to see Max with an easy DRS flipping scenario. I want to see it fight. I want to see a fight for this. He's here, lad. Oh, Carl, he's here, lad. This is the fight for the lead with 6 laps to go. Oh, Max has caught him in sector. Oh my God, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do him into turn 12. I know it. Oh, he's closing in, lad. Oh my God. Oh, don't say that, Martin. Martin's saying there's nothing Lewis Hamilton can do. No, there is, man. Full battery power. Oh my God, it's under a second, the gap now. Is he going to get DRS? Yeah, the gap's 9 tenths. Max is going to get DRS up the back straight here. Come on, Lewis. Hold on. Right. I'm with you, Lewis. He's gone to the middle of the circuit. Here comes Max. It's going to be okay. Now you're going to be okay. Oh my God, he's coming. Dern and Jaws. Oh, Max goes for it. Lewis leads into the space. Do the switch back. Switching back, lad. Switching back. Go on, Lewis. It's side by side into turn 13. Go on, Lewis, around the outside. Max has got the inside. Switch it back again, lad. Right, fucking send it in 14. He's round the outside. Max has had to defend into 14. Oh, go on, Lewis. Get him on the exit. Oh, he put up a fight. He tried to fight it. Oh, man. He tried to fight it. Verstappen takes the lead on lap 50 of 56. Oh, man. Oh. Okay. Lewis has got DRS. Come on, Lewis. If Lewis gets it back and wins, it's his greatest ever victory. If Lewis repasses Verstappen and wins the race, it's his best victory. I don't care. He's had 103 of them, but this will be his best. Oh, what a move. What a move from Max Verstappen that is. And Lewis trying round the outside of 13 as well. What a move from Verstappen. Is that better than Leclerc's on Perez? Wow, what a late move. Lewis did try and fight. They were side by side into 13. That was... I was hoping he switched back. And the thing is, Verstappen had to defend into 14. Mad settings. And they tell you what, they've had a great show today, the people at that race live. The fans that have seen this live, what a race. This is race of the season, this. Spain was pretty good. British Grand Prix was pretty good. We've had 3 or 4 absolute bangers, but this tops it off. Lewis is sticking with him, man. He's gone off again. Lewis is like breathless on team radio. He's still fighting for this, Lewis. He's keeping up with him. Oh, I'm telling you now, if Lewis repasses Max and wins this, I don't care about your P14 to the win in Germany in 2018. This is your best win, lad. You know, Lewis has had some phenomenal wins, but I tell you now, if he passes Max here and wins, unbelievable. He's keeping up. 5 laps to go. He's got to stay within that DRS range to give himself a chance. We haven't seen this kind of a battle for the win. Especially, we haven't seen Verstappen v Hamilton since the end of the last 21, innit? It's been a full calendar year since we've seen Verstappen v Hamilton, and I have missed it. I'm telling you now, Verstappen Leclerc just hasn't got that same... It's not got that same needle about it. This has got needle. It's got rivalry about it. As we cut to where Sebastian Vettel fighting Alexander Albon for P9. Oh, he's going to try around the L. Oh my God. Vettel's lining up for down the inside into turn 19. What a move from Sebastian Vettel on the Williams. Vettel up to P9. Lap 52 of 56. Pain. I know. Spain without the... Lewis v Max has been incredible. It has. I wish it had lasted longer, and I hope... Hamilton's less than half a second behind Max. I mean, it's all very well watching Albon v Tsunoda for P10, but I would rather see the battle for the lead, guys. Come on. Oh, it's 3/4. Oh, Max hasn't got any more dummies to throw, man. Because Max has been off the track. You get 3 strikes and then you get a penalty. So Max has already been off the circuit 3 times. He's on final warning. Verstappen's on final warning. Oh, the gap's a second. Come on, Lewis. You've got to remain within DRS at least. If the gap between Hamilton and Verstappen becomes more than a second, it's GG's. It's game over. It's 6/10. Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, Perez, Russell, Alonso P6, Norris 7th, Magnussen 8th, Vettel 9th, Albon P10, but he's under massive pressure from Tsunoda, Zhou and Gasly behind. Replay with Sebastian Vettel then, with Albon defending down the straight. They've obviously had a fight throughout the entire final sector of Vettel and Albon. Full hammer time. Yeah, is Vettel actually leaving? He is, Carl, unfortunately. Yeah, Sebastian Vettel is retiring, and Fernando Alonso is going to take his place at Aston Martin for 2023. Oh, Hamilton's hanging on. Go on, Lewis. Oh my God, Verstappen's not got away. Verstappen's not got away, man. Lap 53. Oh my God. Max is on 3 strikes. We could be in a position where Max wins the race but then gets a 5-second penalty, and so Hamilton wins on default. But he'll take it. I'll take it. Let's go. Oh, Lewis locks up. Oh, I think it's over. Nah, I think it's GG's. Lewis has just made a mistake. Nah, Lewis has just made a mistake. I think that's going to drift him outside that magic second. You've got to be within a second to get DRS. And as soon as he's outside of that DRS, it's GG's. It's game over. But yeah, Carl, unfortunately, I think Vettel's got more to give. Do you know? I think Vettel might have retired a year or two too soon, but it is what it is. Times move on. Yeah, the gap. Unfortunately now, the gap is 1.3 seconds. Lewis has had a good go at winning this one. He's had a good go. I tell you what, if Lewis doesn't win a race this season, this will probably be the closest he ever came to it. Black and white flag for Lewis Hamilton as well. So they're both on final warnings, Verstappen. I tell you what, did you know what they do, these two? And the top athletes in all sports do. When you see Nadal, Federer in tennis or whatever, they take themselves into a different realm. They're defying each other so hard that they're going off track and they're scrambling about trying to gain an extra half a tenth of a second and stuff. It's different gravy when it's Verstappen v Hamilton. It is different. It's just got a different feel about it. It's when two top of the line rivals go against each other, they take each other into a different, they step above and beyond everybody else. They're both on final warnings, so they're both like going off circuit, scrambling about for an extra quarter of a second. Yeah, he's got different settings. Max is absolutely desperate to beat Lewis, and vice versa. And I love it. And unfortunately, Max has come out on top again. Super Max. What's the difference? Well, Johnny, this is it. It's drifting. It's drifting. The gap's 2.4. Max has won. It's 2 laps to go. Lewis has had a good fight, and if he doesn't win a race this season, this will be the closest he's ever run it. Max won 2 championships without having the best car. Lewis never won without the best car. Max has had the best car last year and this year. I tell you what, there ain't many championships won without having the fastest car. Maybe Kimi Räikkönen in 2007. He won the championship in a Ferrari that wasn't the fastest car that year. I think the McLaren was faster that year, but it's a rare scenario that. You're saying that the Ferrari was quicker this season? In certain cases, in certain races, yeah, but over a full season, no chance. Who's that in the Tim Cook? 2021 Mercedes was better, and the 2022 Ferrari. Well, that's what this world is about, opinions. But yeah, Max is, despite the 11-second pit stop, has still come through to win. Well, I've seen it. I think he's won about 4 or 5 races this season where he's gone wrong and he's still won. In Spain, he spun off into the gravel at one point early on in the race, still won. I think in Hungary, he did a full pirouette 360 and still won. There's been another race where it went wrong. I think, what was it, in Hungary, he come from like 11th on the grid, and then the following race he come from outside the top 10. I think he had 3 race wins in a row where he was outside the top 10 and still won. Like, it's incredible form. Today, the team completely messed it up for him. He had an 11.1 second pit stop, and still, to quote Denver, and still Max Verstappen is going to win anyway, no matter what anybody throws at him. Lewis Hamilton's tried his best today. And Charles Leclerc's had a good go at it as well. Sergio Perez, without his broken front wing, could have done something. But Hamilton's had a great go at it. But Max, again, to Formula 1 since 1981. There was a few drivers who won without the best car yet. I've seen every race since 2006. But here we go. As Sebastian Vettel comes round the final couple of corners. There's nothing they can do to stop him. Max Verstappen, the newly crowned Formula 1 World Champion, wins for a 13th time in 2022. Max Verstappen wins the United States Grand Prix, the newly crowned champion, and Red Bull are now confirmed as constructors champions as well. So Max wins, Red Bull win, and it's going to be Lewis Hamilton P2. close but no cigar for Lewis Hamilton. As we see Vettel and Kevin Magnussen going side by side for P8. What a race this has been. The race rages on for P8 between Vettel and Magnussen. So it's going to be Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, podium, Perez P4, Russell P5, Norris P6. What a race from him. And they're still side by side for P8. Whoa, Sebastian Vettel oversteer. Oh, it's incredible. He's going to go down the inside. What a race. Sebastian Vettel with the smoke of the fireworks. Sebastian Vettel, P8, overtakes Kevin Magnussen round the outside of turn 16. What a king. Sebastian Vettel, driver of the day. Unbelievable. Sebastian Vettel has retired too soon. Unbelievable racing from the four-time world champion. And now they get the soundbite. Now they get the soundbite of Max Verstappen, you are the world champion. Red Bull, you are the world champion. And on the weekend, that with the very sad news that Red Bull owner and founder Dietrich Mateschitz passed away yesterday. But Red Bull have won. What a tribute. And they've won the Constructors' Championship as well. What a race. Is that race of the season? Was the British Grand Prix better than that? I don't think so. The British Grand Prix had a good final, 10 laps. But this was blockbuster from start to finish. It had everything. It had everything. What a race. Max won. GG's Max. Exactly, yeah, Jordan. Senna was incredible before. Yeah. Most relieved man in Texas is Max front left. Yeah. You hit the nail on the head there, Flavia. Yeah. The most relieved man in Texas is the guy that tried to put that front left tyre on Verstappen's car, yeah. Red Bull Constructors Champions. Hamilton Team Radio. He'd give it a go, didn't he? He gave it everything today, Lewis Hamilton. P2. Yeah. Well, he ran it close. And there's another 3. Lewis has got another 3 goes, another 3 bites of the cherry this year. Mexico next weekend. And then a weekend off. And then Brazil, Abu Dhabi back to back to round off the season. But that's it. I'm not going to stay for the podium. And it is Sebastian Vettel. I did say a minute ago, Vettel driver of the day. And it is Sebastian Vettel with 18% of the vote. That is driver of the day. Is he retiring too soon? Sebastian Vettel. He's absolutely pulled off a couple of worldy moves. Vettel should have been top 5 today, easy. Great race. Guys, if you're new to the stream or anything, if it's the first time you're watching, please do drop me a like. Get yourself subscribed if you're into Formula 1. I'm live every single qualifying every single race. We've got 3 more to go. I'll be back live for practice in Mexico on Friday night. But yeah, that's all for now. What a race. Let me just get that on. But yeah, guys, I'm pretty sure that's race of the season. Max Verstappen wins 13 out of 19 races he's won. In fact, I think he's equalled the record with this win. I think he's equalled the record of most wins in a season. So if he wins one more out of the last 3, he'll break the record for most wins in a season. He's now level with Michael Schumacher and I think Sebastian Vettel, who won 13 races in 1 year. Can he win 14, 15 or maybe even 16 races? He's unbeatable this year, Max Verstappen. Lewis gave it a good go. What a race we had. It had everything. Crashes, carnage, chaos. And Max Verstappen versus Lewis Hamilton, which I have missed. But cheers, guys. Oh, what a race. See you for practice in Mexico in about 5 days' time. See you then, guys.